So, hi dear students, subscribers, viewers, old and new. Welcome to Science Bug by Poonam Singh, and this is our second live session, as you all know. So, a big applause for this from my side, as well as I expected from your side as well. So, today's topic, as you all know, is photosynthesis and the experiments related to photosynthesis. And as you know, it's for class 10 chapter life processes of the NCERT book. So before that, I would like to tell you that the recording of this live chat will be uploaded on patreon.com as well as soon as we get the recording. And please do watch there also, because it will have some extra features, so you must know about it. And there you'll have to open the website Science to Live on patreon.com. So, and in the beginning only, I'll urge you, request you to please like and subscribe my channel. This channel will surely give your studies an edge, and I'm definitely sure of it. So please follow it in large numbers. I urge new viewers as well as the old viewers to come with your queries. Whenever you come to the live session, please bring a notebook, a paper, a pen, and the NCERT book, because we'll be solving, we normally will be solving question and answers during the live session. So this is all about the introduction. So let's begin with the chapter. Let's begin with the questions. So I'll take the questions from the NCERT book. Now children, if you have the NCERT book with you, please open page 101 of chapter 6, that is life processes. And the first question in the NCERT book says, look at the second question, children, that is relevant to our topic today. The second question says, where do plants get each of the raw materials required for photosynthesis? So this question is quite simple. Can you answer it? I'm not seeing any viewers so far, any students so far. So but I'll have to continue. So please join in as soon as you come to this session. Please come with your queries, join in, and get in the hang of it. So the second question of your NCERT book on page 101 is, where do plants get each of the raw materials required for photosynthesis? So children, do you remember the raw materials that are required for photosynthesis? Let me write down here on the board. The raw materials required for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide, water, and what else, children? Presence of chlorophyll. Presence of chlorophyll and the presence of sunlight. These are the four conditions, or you can say the four raw materials for the process of photosynthesis to continue to carry on in plants. And before that, do you want me to repeat the definition of photosynthesis? What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a type of autotrophic nutrition where plants prepare their own food inside their own body using the raw materials, carbon dioxide and water, and in the presence of sunlight with the help of chlorophyll. Now children, this question says what are the raw materials required? So the raw materials are these four, and from where do we get each of these raw materials? From where do we get each of these raw materials? So children, we get carbon dioxide, from air. As you know, air is a mixture of gases. It has so many gases. Carbon dioxide is one of them. And water is taken from soil. And chlorophyll is present in the leaves. Where is it present in the leaves? Exactly where in the leaves? Can you say that? If you write that also, then your answer will fetch more marks. So in the leaves, the chlorophyll is present in the mesophyll cells. Mesophyll cells. Chlorophyll is a green pigment, as you know, and it is present in the mesophyll cells of the leaves. And where exactly in the mesophyll cells? Children, as you know, in a cell, whether it's a plant cell or an animal cell, there are several organelles present, like mitochondria, Golgi body, then you have vacuoles, then you have say ribosomes, and also many organelles are there. So where exactly, in which organelle is this chlorophyll present? The green pigment. This chlorophyll is present in the cell organelle known as chloroplast. It is present in the cell organelle known as chloroplast, and this inside the chloroplast you have chlorophyll pigment, and this chloroplast is present in the mesophyll cells of the leaf. So this is about the raw material chlorophyll, where it is present. And where do you get the sunlight from? This is quite simple. You get it from the sun. Sun is the biggest source of light and energy, as you know that. So you know, children, photosynthesis can also take place in a in the artificial light, that is tube light or bulb light. It can also take place there, but the rate of photosynthesis depends on the intensity of light and the quality of light. So it can take place even in the light of bulb or a tube light, but the rate of photosynthesis will differ. So here we only consider for class 10 the sunlight. So photosynthesis takes place in the sunlight, and we get the sunlight from the sun. So this is the answer to your second question of the NCERT book, page 101. And so children, you get carbon dioxide from air, and from which organ does this air enter inside the leaf? It enters through stomata, right? Stomata are tiny pores which are present in the leaves, and through these stomata the carbon dioxide enters inside, and oxygen leaves also, right? So this is the only opening which is present in the entire plant, even you can say, and these openings are there only on the leaves, on the underside of the leaves, on the underside of the leaves. So these stomata this with you in my previous classes. You can go through all that, and I'll be providing you all the links in my description of my previous classes, so don't worry about that. So the carbon dioxide enters the leaves through stomata, right? And these stomata are like, you know, doors and windows. These stomata are like doors and windows of the house. How do you enter inside a house? You don't break the wall. You don't break the wall every day and come and go inside. There are doors and windows, especially the doors you can come inside. You can also come inside from the window if you can think of that. So these stomata are like the doors and windows of the plant. So it is through these stomata, which are tiny pores on the undersurface of the leaves, that the carbon dioxide enters the leaf. And soil, as you know, water is present in the soil, and from the soil, how does it enter the plant? Through roots. Through roots. From soil, the water enters the plant through roots. From the roots, the water goes to the stem and then upwards on the in the aerial parts, to the leaves and all those aerial parts. So this is about the second question. This was the question which I wanted to take up. Then we come to some other questions from other reference books, children, some of which I have written down here. Let's go through them one by one. First question, just pay attention here, children. Which simple food is prepared first in the process of photosynthesis? Can you name it? If you are there, please mention in the comment box. I'm not able to see any comments so far. So if anybody is there, you can write it down in the comment box. The answer is very simple. So which is the simple food which is prepared first in the process of photosynthesis? It is the glucose, children. It is the glucose. And then the part B of this question. Name the food which gets stored in plant leaves. Name the food which gets stored in plant leaves. This glucose, the extra glucose, gets stored in the plant leaves in the form of starch. In the form of starch. So the stored food in the leaves is known as starch. Glucose is prepared by photosynthesis, and the extra glucose which is not used, all the glucose is not used up by the plant at one moment or at one time. So whatever extra glucose is there, that gets stored in the leaves in the form of starch. Now question number 2. Apart from carbon dioxide and water, name 4 other raw materials which are needed by the plant. Did you get the question? See, children, the raw materials you had known were carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, sunlight. Apart from these, there are 4 other raw materials which are also required by the plant to carry out its life processes. And what are those? Can you guess? If you can guess, please mention in the comment box. So I give you the answer. One is nitrogen. Nitrogen. Then you have phosphorus. Then magnesium and iron. I hope you know these symbols from your chemistry class. So apart from these raw materials, the plant also needs nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium and iron. You know, children, nitrogen, how is nitrogen used by the plant? Nitrogen is used by the plant to make proteins. You know, this glucose, what is this, which nutrient is glucose? Glucose is a type of carbohydrate. So during photosynthesis, carbohydrate is being prepared. But how does the plant fulfill its need for proteins? It is through this atmospheric nitrogen. There is a process by which this atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by the plant, and it is converted into usable usable nitrogen forms like nitrides and nitrates that I have already discussed. Now I am not discussing it at this moment. So these are the 4 other raw materials which are required by the plant to carry out its life processes. Now, what part does chlorophyll play in photosynthesis? What part does chlorophyll play in this photosynthesis? This question is very important, and you all know the answer also. You know, without chlorophyll there will be no photosynthesis. So what exactly does the chlorophyll do? I have already discussed it with you while discussing the 3 steps of photosynthesis. It is this chlorophyll molecule which absorbs the sunlight. It is this chlorophyll molecule which absorbs the sunlight, okay, sunlight energy. And so this is the role of chlorophyll molecule. So and no other pigment or any other organelle in the plant can absorb sunlight energy. No other organelle or no other pigment, no other organelle has the capacity to absorb sunlight energy. No other organelle has the capacity, has the capability to absorb sunlight energy. So it is only the chlorophyll pigment which absorbs sunlight energy. So it's very important, and it is one of the major raw materials of photosynthesis. Now children, a few more questions which we will answer orally. Can you tell me name the organelle of the plant cells in which photosynthesis occurs and where is it present? This I have already discussed. The organelle of the plant cell in which photosynthesis occurs is the chloroplast. And where is it present? It's present in the, and where exactly this chloroplast is present? This chloroplast is present in the mesophyll cells, in the mesophyll cells of the leaf. Name the cells in the leaf of a plant which control the opening and closing of stomata. I told you children what stomata is. You know that stomata, each stomata is guarded by 2 cells. What are those 2 cells known as? Can you write in the comment box? Yes, those 2 cells which are present alongside of each stomata are known as the guard cells. Okay, there are 2 guard cells on each stomata, and these guard cells are bean shaped, kidney bean shaped, and they help in the opening and closing of stomata. That I have already discussed how. So now we come to the questions of related to the experiments that we did, the photosynthetic experiments that we did. They are written here children, so please pay attention. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear. So children, let's look at the first question. Question number 1. These questions I told you are related to the photosynthesis experiments. And what were the 3 photosynthesis experiments that we have done? Actually, we had proved the conditions which are necessary for photosynthesis, these 4 conditions, and we had proved that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. We had proved that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, and we had also proved that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Only this water thing we did not take up the experiment, which is not required at this level of class 10. So children, let us, you have understood what experiments we had done. So pertaining to those experiments, there are a few very pertinent, important questions which I wanted to discuss with you. Although they are not given anywhere in the NCERT book, but we need to know simply out of curiosity. So look at the first question. What are variegated leaves? Children, in the experiment where we proved that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, we had taken variegated leaves. And why did we take variegated leaves? Children, we had taken variegated. First of all, what are variegated leaves? Oh, sorry, the first question is this only. What are variegated leaves? I'm sorry. The first question is, what are variegated leaves? Variegated leaves are the leaves which have green and non-green areas on the same leaf. One leaf has got green areas as well as non-green areas which may be white, or they may be red also. Then second question, why do we take variegated leaf in the chlorophyll experiment? Children, why did we take variegated leaf? The reason is simple, because in the same leaf you could see, you could do the iodine test or the starch test and prove on the same leaf that since this part did not have chlorophyll, so there was no starch in the non-green plant, and the green area had chlorophyll, so it turned blue-black with the iodine. So I hope you got the answer. I'll repeat it. We took variegated leaf in the experiment of chlorophyll when we were proving that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, because in the same leaf you had green and non-green areas, and you know the non-green area does not have chlorophyll and the green area has chlorophyll. So in the same leaf you had the chlorophyll portion and the non-chlorophyll portion. And after all those experiments, all those steps, we had done the iodine test, and we know that with iodine test, with iodine, starch gives blue-black color. So the areas where the leaf was green had prepared starch, so that gave blue-black color with iodine, and the white area or the non-green area did not give the blue-black color with iodine solution. So we had proved that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. That is the only reason why we took variegated leaf in the chlorophyll experiment. Now the third question. Why do we de-starch the plant in photosynthesis experiments? Why do we de-starch the plant? Children, you know, in all the three photosynthesis experiments, we had de-starched the plant. Why did we do so? Why could not we take the plant as such? Because as such also, the plant was having starch in it, and in the experiments also, first we had de-starched, and then again we had allowed the plant to stand in the sun and go through the photosynthetic process. So the reason is simple, children. We wanted to wash out all the previous starch which was there in the plant. We wanted to wipe it out. We wanted to wipe it out, eliminate. We wanted to eliminate all the starch that was present in the plant before the experiment. So for that reason, we had de-starched the plant by keeping it dark, and later on again we kept it in the sunlight so that the photosynthesis can take place afresh. The photosynthesis can take place afresh. Afresh means from a new start. It can take place from a new start, and then we can follow all the steps which go on in the photosynthetic process, and so that our experiment goes correct, right? So this is the reason. Now, fourth question, how do variegated leaves survive if they don't contain chlorophyll? Children, I told you that in variegated leaves, the non-green portions don't have chlorophyll. So they don't have chlorophyll, that means they don't make starch. Then how do they survive? If they don't have starch, how will they survive? Every part of the plant should have starch in it, whether it's stem or even the roots need starch. So how do these variegated leaves survive then? The answer is, children, even these non-green areas of the variegated leaves have got pigments, but that pigment is not chlorophyll. There are some other pigments. There are two, three types of pigments, the names of which you need not know now. There are other types of pigments which are other than chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is not there. Some other pigments are there which are present in the non-green areas or the white portion of the variegated leaves, and they carry on, or they perform photosynthesis. So these white areas or the non-green areas also perform photosynthesis, and they also make starch, and that is how they survive. Now, question number 5. Which substance is used to remove chlorophyll? Children, in the first experiment of the chlorophyll experiment, we had removed chlorophyll by boiling it in alcohol, right? So which substance was used to remove chlorophyll? We had used alcohol to remove chlorophyll, right? And why do we need to remove chlorophyll? What was the need to remove chlorophyll? Why we could not just do the experiment like that? We needed to remove chlorophyll because in that variegated leaf, children, there was green color, and so when you are showing something, it should have even color, like the whole area should have the same color, so that which areas get blue-black color and which areas don't get blue-black color after the iodine test should be distinct after that iodine test. So to decolorize the leaf, to make the surface of the leaf even in appearance, we had boiled the leaf in alcohol. So you got the answer. Why do we need to remove chlorophyll? We need to remove chlorophyll to decolorize the leaf and to make the surface of the leaf look even in appearance as far as the color is concerned. I showed you in the experiment that it looked almost colorless. So after that, when we had added iodine, immediately some areas which were green originally showed blue-black color, and the white areas did not show blue-black color. So so to make the experiment clear, children, we had to remove the chlorophyll pigment, which is green in color. So children, this is all about it today. I hope you liked the session, and please do like and subscribe my channel Science Bug by Poonam Singh, and we'll be having more live sessions if you give some positive feedbacks about it. And again, we'll be having regular classes as usual. So bye bye for now. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.